So I finally got a chance to finish Power Rangers Turbo. Power Rangers Turbo. Finally, after all these years, I finished Power Rangers Turbo from start to finish, starting out with the Turbo movie and working my way through to the chase into space. And man, oh man, what an episode. But before we get into this whole thing, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join this community that I'm growing, where we can all just come together and just have fun and have conversations like talking about Power Rangers, all right? So hit that subscribe button and let's just jump right into this, shall we? So let's talk about this Power Rangers Turbo movie now. We get to see how the Power Rangers get their powers. We get to see how Rocky leaves pretty much the show. He made an appearance in the first episode of Turbo, but we pretty much see Rocky in his last days of being a Power Ranger and his final moments when he tries to do a spin kick and lands outside the ring, a boxing ring, and ends up leaving the show like an absolute geek buffoon in every which way. But the squad going throughout the Turbo movie is veteran Rangers Tommy, Adam, Kat, Tanya, and Justin joins the team. I know Justin was the Ranger that a lot of people did not like, and I wanted to see how Justin developed throughout the show. I wanted to give him a fair shot because I knew the character was not well received by the Power Rangers community. And when he was in the movie, it was a little shaky. I ain't gonna lie. I was not liking the dialogue. I didn't like how he was being presented. He came across a little like that little annoying kid that could have been a liability to the team, but over the course of the season, Justin didn't bother me. Like, as the show progressed, he did not bother me, and kind of made me sad how he left. You know, I ain't gonna lie. That finale, it was a little sad. It kind of tugged on your boy's heartstrings. But if you want my answer, if Justin was an annoying Power Ranger, I'm not in that camp that's gonna say yes. You know, I don't think he was a bad Ranger at all. I thought he did his job for the season, and it was sad when he left. But anyway, we've seen how he's introduced. We've seen Divatox, we see Elgar. And that takes us into the first part of the Turbo season, which was the Veteran Rangers and Justin for like the first 18 episodes going into the passing of the torch. The only important thing that I can say about that whole thing was Zordon and Alpha 5 leaving, and we get Demetra and Alpha 6 now. Demetra is no Zordon. She will never be Zordon because she offered no help, no mentorship. She was terrible in every which way. She didn't. What information did she offer? She didn't do nothing. The Power Rangers just had to mentor themselves. They had to take over. And then when Alpha 6 came in, I was like, oh snap. I didn't like how Alpha 6 came in. Yo. It pissed me off a little bit in the beginning, but I grown to just deal with it. It didn't bother me towards the end, but I just gotta say, Demetra was terrible. And I was glad when she left at the end, but for the first 18 episodes, it was the veterans and Justin just navigating through, the regular Power Ranger episodes. Kind of felt like filler. It was nothing really too important. It was just Demetra doing monsters and her trying to blow everything. She loves explosives. She loves blowing up everything. Fire the torpedoes. Yeah, she was just ready to just blow up everything. Everything was a bomb. Everything was just ready to go off. We get to the passing of the torch. We get to see the new Rangers in that episode. It was, I do believe, TJ and Cassie was in that episode, but in previous episodes, we got to see Ashley and Carlos. So towards the end of the passing of the torch episode, which was a okay episode, it was okay. It wasn't the finale. The finale cooked, but the passing of the torch was an important episode because it was passing the torch from the veterans to these new Rangers that's gonna come in. And I just gotta say that I feel like, I know there was a lot of politicking. I know there was a lot of stuff behind the scenes that they were doing, but I feel like they should have did a better job in easing these Rangers in, because I'm just looking at it as somebody who was probably watching it on TV, right? As the thing is live on air, we going episode to episode. I gotta wait each week to my new Power Rangers episode. I've been hanging on this since Mighty Morphin, right? I'm pretending like I'm one of those type of viewers, and all of a sudden I just, Tommy's going, Kat's going, Tanya's going, Adam's going. And then all of a sudden I got to deal with TJ, Carlos, Ashley, Cassie, and it's just that's it. There was no mention of the old veteran Rangers anymore. It took some adjusting for me. But I wanted to give TJ a fair shot because Justin, TJ is one of those Rangers that he receives a lot of criticism for being a Red Ranger, and I just gotta say I can kind of see that. I'm not gonna shame the actor in any way. He did what he was told. I thought TJ actually had a great look. Great look to him being a Power Ranger, Black Red Ranger, man. I'm with that. TJ had it. He had the look, everything. Even when they went into the Passing of the Torch episode, he really showed why he could be a strong leader, a strong Red Ranger. But once he actually got that suit on, it was just like, this character's pretty bland. Like, it's like the team had no aura. Like, no aura. Like, if you go to the OG season, the OG, Jason had aura. Tommy had aura. When we got to the Passing of the Torch and once this new team came in and then TJ's just this bland Red Ranger, he had, he tried his best. I'm not going to shame the actor, but it's just like what he was presented with is just like, this character's pretty bland. And then I gotta say, the rest of the season pretty much felt like filler again. Like, it wasn't really too much important things happening, in my opinion, that I could just remember off the top of my dome piece. But the chase into space, man, oh man, this episode was a freaking banger. Hands down, one of the best Power Ranger episodes I've ever watched. And I was watching this, and I'm watching part 1, going into part 2, and I was just like, man, oh man, I felt robbed. Why do y'all wait to the very end, the very, very last 2 episodes to decide, man, I want to cook? Because this was a straight clanger, banger, classic episode from start to finish. Now, you had the Megazord battle. Now, these new Rangers, TJ and Carlos and Ashley and Cassie and Justin, the squad manages to get 2 Megazords destroyed. Yo, I'm just like, okay, coming out of the first episode, I'm just like, yo, how did y'all manage to get 2 Megazords destroyed, all right? So then they go into the power chamber. Divatox and Elgar find out basically where the power chamber is at. And then all of a sudden, Divatox sends her goons to the power chamber and they come in and they see them through the thing and they're just like, yo, they found us. And then they pull up and then they were just like, yo, how are we going to do this? How are we going to fight them off? And TJ just like, yo, we just going to have to do it. We're going to have to defend it. And I was just like, where was this TJ from the very beginning? This TJ right here was the leader that I've been waiting for. Okay, I felt like he had it in him. I felt like TJ had that leader in him. But this was the most I've seen TJ step up and be like, no, y'all gonna follow me. This is what we're gonna do. I don't care how many of them is out there. I don't care if it's 1,000 of them. We gonna go out there and we gonna fight. We gonna fight to the best we can to defend this power chamber. So they go out, they fighting for their lives outside, then they're running inside, then they're out of breath. And then it's just like, it was that moment where they showed all the Rangers and they like out of breath and it just looked like, yo, we about to lose, bro. We lost our Megazords. They're coming for the power chamber. It's a whole bunch of them. We're outnumbered. Demetra left them. And it's just like, they're just sitting there and it's just like, oh man, yo, we might take this L, bro. You know what I'm saying? We might take this L. And this is the first time in the entire franchise, I'm just like, yo, I'm feeling emotion for them. Like, I actually feel bad for them. I actually feel sad that they might lose, bro. And I'm just like, TJ, you got to do something. And Carlos, shout out to Carlos. Carlos stepped up too because Carlos was just like, bro, we got to do this. Yo, even Carlos, because I feel like Carlos was pretty much a background Ranger too. He came across like Adam, first season, Adam was ever a Power Ranger. He was just so in the back, so like unimportant. But this episode, he stepped up. Oh yeah. The 2 men stepped up for the squad, man. And even Justin. Even Justin towards the end where he set up the whole thing with them going into space and all of that stuff. Like, it was sad when he left because, they were telling the story throughout the franchise of him and his dad. Like, he missed his dad being away from his dad working and stuff like that. And it was just like, it was tough. I felt bad for Justin when he had to give up his powers as a Power Ranger and let his friends, his fellow Rangers go. I felt bad for him. I know a lot of people don't like the Justin character, but by that point and by the chase into space, they did so well with giving him, to putting a cherry on top of that story where it just made me care about Justin. He chose his dad. I mean, as a kid, he made the right decision. He chose to stay with his dad while the other Rangers had to go into space. He can't, I forgot how old he was, but he was a kid. A kid can't go into space and fight space aliens. You know what I'm saying? But I just gotta say, Chase into Space, hands down, one of the best Power Rangers episode that I've watched. I was just like, whoa, I feel robbed. I feel robbed because we could have gotten that throughout the whole series with these newer Rangers, these quote unquote new Rangers. And I'm just glad I got that. That's an episode from Turbo. That's probably the only episode from Turbo that I'll go back and rewatch. That was some epic stuff, man. That right there was a banger. And what a way to transition from Turbo into space. So, man, oh man, Power Rangers Turbo was a bit of a filler show, filler season, I would say. And but it picked up. It picked up at the very end. I just felt like we should have had more of that. I wish we did. But we did get it. We did get something, and now I'm invested going into space and seeing how this journey continues. I kind of know how it ends, but I want to see how we get there. So with that being said, how did you feel about Power Rangers Turbo as a season? I know it's usually not on people's top 5s and even top 10s, but how did you feel about the show? Do you feel like it was a filler season? Did you like the veteran Rangers team over the newer Rangers? Who did you like? Let your boy know in the comment sections. If I forget to speak about something, just address it in the comment section. I'll let you know how I felt about that whole thing. Let's keep this community growing and appreciate everything that you've done so far with, keeping the conversations going in the comment section. So with that being said, if you like this video, hit it with a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe, and show your boy some love. Until the next video, your boy the Wildcat J Troy is out. Shifting the turbo.